Morning Show. And as always, we start our day with a simple prayer. Have your hands up like this. Don't have your hands like this. This is slavery. This is like, asking to get shot or pretty much get arrested. But more so like this to receive. And so, I thank Jah for getting me up this morning, for my rising, for a healthier me. Thank Jah for giving me the courage to go after the opportunities He presents to me and that I can succeed with, to help those who cannot help themselves, and to most importantly, show compassion towards my enemies, even though they deserve a straight patada en el culo. Jesus Christ, we say these things into the 227th heir to the throne of Jah himself. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Thank you. Morning. Yes, it is the end of tax season, and this is our fund drive. And of course, needless to say, we are asking everybody to get up and do what they can. This is the KTNG Morning Show. And yes, it is kind of windy. I've turned this around so you guys can actually see what I'm doing or see me. Okay, so if anything, I do want to thank everybody. We are now on Streamitter as well. So now we have more than 16 distributors delivering this across the world. And everywhere across the world, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, people around the world are now adjusting to this. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the KTNG Morning Show. That's right, and I have a gun because I'm NRA friendly. Really. Talk about buckshot. Yes, welcome to the KTNG Morning Show, and this is your host, the G to the R to the I to the T to the Z, Zesty, all the way from the top of the mountain underneath the 25 freeway. I am that freak on the peak, and if you allow me to speak, I will give you something to put in your mind so this way you can think for the week. But if you can't think that far, then I suggest you get a new car, because everybody knows that we are the people and the people are the stars. Ooh, that's a keeper. Okay, cool. Anyway, thank you guys for coming up here and seeing us throughout what we call the globe, as we would call it. Global Unity Community here, that's what we call it, and so forth. So we do our thing, ktng.org, KTNG 860 AM. Yes, we are bona fide non-profit. So therefore, that means only one thing, people. Only means one thing. It's our fund drive. Come on. We gotta get this up, man. Or the apprenticeship program needs it. And I get to go down to the sanctuary and talk to David. So this will be cool. And this will be a real good thing. Join the conversation, people. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. So without hesitation, let's get into some of these crazy ass stories that basically are on our show titled Badge of Horror. What do we mean by badge of horror? We're trying to figure out why there's such things as, selfish, vain, and narcissistic people that are basically looking for a positive in their life. Therefore, why is Cheeseburger doing what he does? He's a narcissist. I keep telling you guys, the guy is just basically a loudmouth New Yorker with a crap load of money. So in that sense, let's take a look at what Dumbo has been doing. Okay, it is not so much as the or Dumbo. Darren Gregory Malloy, good morning. Let's go up. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for joining the conversation. So here we go. People, here's some stories that I know that you are going to enjoy. Now, there has been a rift, not the James Comey thing or anything of that nature, but there has been a rift. Now, they're paying their taxes and everybody's like thinking they're getting like a bundle of money. Oh, Americans are getting their taxes and the tax cuts are doing good for everybody. But okay, and I say this, but someone decided to buck the trend. Somebody decided to buck the trend, and therefore the Republican Party, the Republican-based party and so forth, come November, you will feel a porcupine every time you sit down. Okay, so let me give you guys a first one, all right? As it stands, former GOP donor says he's using tax cut money to fight Cheeseburger's administration policies and elect Democrats. Ooh. Does anybody know who Seth Klarman is? Seth Klarman. Okay, well, here's how the story went. Billionaire, hedge fund manager, and former major GOP donor is tearing into Republicans, saying he's planning to use the money from the GOP tax cuts to elect Democrats. Ooh. It's not changing horses in the middle of the string, people. It's pretty much like, what the rats do when they jump ship. Okay? He says, I received a tax cut I neither need or want. Now, how many billionaires, how many greedy little billionaires out there that have supported the Republican Party know damn well that this man's policies suck? He says, I'm choosing to invest in to fight the administration's flawed policies and to elect Democrats to the Senate and House of Representatives. Klarman said Republicans and Congress have failed to hold President, your Presidente, your bloaters of the POTUS, or as I would like to say, your mass distractor, okay? The man who is the Seamus of chaos, okay? The bloated one, the man whose hands are too smaller than his tax returns, Cheeseburger, accountable. He added that the GOP lawmakers have abandoned their historic beliefs and values. For the good of the country, the Democrats must take back one or both houses of Congress. According to the Globe, Klarman gives about 220,000 to 70 Democrats running for Congress since 2016 elections. Majority Leader Charles Schumer and Representative Adam Schiff, according to the Globe. But he has also given money to several nonprofits advocating for issues like gun control and protecting the environment. Klarman, the CEO of Boston's Baupost Group, a hedge fund with $13 billion in assets, is a registered independent. Now, during the Obama administration, he donated $7 million to Republican candidates and political committees to stop Obama, but it did not work. And last year, he criticized Cheeseburger at an investment conference, calling him, quote unquote, a threat to democracy. Oh, come on, people. You guys are not seeing this? Okay, you're not seeing this, right? Okay, you're not seeing this. If all the billionaires are basically getting tax cuts, especially like today, which is the last day to file your taxes and everything, then it only means one damn thing. The man's an unfit jackass to actually, run the country. Not much less, be a racist one at that. I mean, come on. How many presidents have we had that were racist before civil rights? Okay, that sort of thing. But it goes even further. It goes even further because here is a guy who's a billionaire 3 times over, many times over, and we're gonna elect Democrats to take back the House. Isn't that a flip? I swear that is a total flip, because maybe then it'll put the Republicans per se on the defensive. And whatever crap that's going to come out of their mouth at this particular point, come on, everybody's abandoning the cheeseburger boat, okay? Even jackass is trying to infiltrate everybody's Facebook streams and say, oh, we're doing great in America, we're doing great in America. No, you're only doing great by the stock market, and the stock market pertains to who? Those who put into the stock market? Yes. Those who have made money? Yeah, but what about everybody else on the bottom end? What about everybody else on the bottom end? So finally, we only know that his certain level of administration only goes but so far. The sizable amount of injustice that goes disfigured people in the brain here. All right. We go on to say, if you have anything to do with the sellout of this country, warn a handwritten manifesto that prosecutors say the men impose your homes, your businesses, your families are at risk. Death threats, big deal. A lot of wolf tickets. They learned this from Cheeseburger. Sell a bunch of wolf tickets and think everybody's just supposed to run around in fear. Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh. Okay. That's stupid. That is totally stupid. How are you going to be afraid of something that's on a piece of paper? Okay. I know the pen is mightier than the sword. The sword is just basically just trying to hack everything out. Sing it off for criticism, government officials and news media and property owners who lease to refugees or illegal immigrants. So needless to say, in a trial unfolding over the last month in a courthouse in Wichita, federal prosecutors have described how they saw the men, Curtis Allen, Galvin Wright, and Patrick Stein. Okay, Patrick Stein, all of whom are white, who call themselves, call their group Crusaders, not to get confused with the Crusaders and history, or the Crusaders, the singing group, the R&B group back there, concocted a bombing plot aimed at causing mass murder. It was prevented, the prosecutors say, because agents arrested the men a few weeks before the bombing was to take place in 2016. The men who could face life in prison if convicted of conspiring to use weapons of mass destruction had pleaded not guilty. Why does that sound like, the United States in the world court? We've been killing people since 1898 and we're not guilty. Yeah, that makes America great. Now, they're also charged with conspiracy against rights by planning to interfere with their apartment residents' housing rights because of their race, national origin, and religion. The Justice Department considers that charge a hate crime. You see how they go from terrorist to hate crime? Okay, see this? See how American justice is working for the privilege of saying, okay, because you guys are white, we're going to give you a hate crime so that way we let this thing down. If you are a white terrorist, let me tell you this: you should be taken all the way out into a field, okay, buried up to your neck and pour honey on your ass, okay, and let the ants dissolve you from there. Or basically just being shot at a daggone, firing squad. Okay? Closing arguments in the trial and the start of the jury deliberations are expected today. Lawyers say the federal officials who relied on paid informants to infiltrate the group have overstepped by trying to criminalize offensive but legal speech. Offensive but legal speech. Offensive. I think I'm offensive, so I'm here to make you uncomfortable about my offensiveness. Yes, I do take a bath. The lawyers argued that men's conversations, many of them secretly recorded by the informant and played for the jurors, amounted to idle talk. No one was physically injured in Gardens. Ooh, wolf tickets. Trial comes at a time when threats against religious and racial minorities, particularly Muslims, and incidents of hate-related violence have escalated. Are you catching up on your previous 12 months, according to a study compiled by SALT? So, needless to say, we're not the only ones getting shot at. 4 weeks before the 2010, the prosecutors say they had planned to carry out a bombing in November 9th, the day after voters selected a new jefe. Okay? Kansas voters overwhelmingly for cheeseburger, and defense lawyers sought to pick a jury from counties where high percentages of people who voted for him were definitely white. Now, the lawyers said that the case was unequivocally political and that they wanted to pull with more rural conservative jurors. I mean, come on, you can whitewash this all you want, but we know this is a jury of their peers, which is all white. Now, every time there's been an all-white jury, it's all one-sided. Come on. Don't you, I mean, if you can't see the practice, then obviously it makes it that much better. It makes it that much better. How does it make it that much better? Well, the defendants get to choose. Defendants chose not to testify during the trial, but said quietly in sports coats, ties, and leg shackles, as prosecutors showed the mostly white jury the rambling handwritten manifesto. The document containing alarming messages, but also listed grievances that sounded common and, well, within the conservative mainstream. Border security was too weak. It said jobs have moved overseas. The Obama administration has overreached. Okay, excuse me. Okay, give it up. By the time this planet becomes black, brown and black and so forth, you're going to be a minority. And then you become a black man's burden. Reflect the political talk in 2016, Ms. Bannon, Kansas federal public defender, said of the manifesto, there is nothing in the document that is outside the political talk going on. But persecutors portrayed the malicious group's views as anything but ordinary. The men, they say, were alarmed by growing populations of Muslim immigrants in places like Garden City and are willing to use violence to force them out. You know what happened in Detroit, right? When they didn't want nobody black living up there, we burned those damn places down and made the government give us housing. Okay? These guys are talking about killing Muslims, even their babies. Okay? Now, the population there in Garden City is only 26,700 people. It is an increasingly diverse place where Hispanics comprise nearly half the damn population, and growing numbers of residents come from places like Somalia, Myanmar, Mexico, and Sudan. It is a Republican stronghold. That cheeseburger carried. They put the kids in school. They pray. And come on, this is a country found on religious freedom. Okay? And then here's an even better one. They pay taxes. Oh my. So if that ain't American enough and we're supposed to be a melting pot, I think we're already doing well on this great thing. So as the 2016 presidential race ramped up, Agent Kuhn said the vitriol in the militia group increased. At various points, the men considered attacks on Mr. Obama, members of Congress, fellow Kansans who helped Somalis and Muslims. Eventually, the men, who each lived about an hour's drive from Garden City, has a small Somali community. And the site of the makeshift mob said the other Garden City residents expressed their support after the militia plot was made, or have already been growing. So part of the fabric of the American culture. It became a very unifying, a candlelight visual at the Murray Street apartments after the arrest, and and a few other, unrelated, white names that don't fit over 60, and they're more because they look different. Is that it? A little bit too brown for you. Are you gonna pick up like Matt Damon and move of Australia? For instances of, say, we have more instances. Per se of what could I say here? I would say 9 times out of 10 we have more instances of pollution and in this ocean, in our oceans. You get outside, say beyond the beach, okay? So the story goes here, a group of individuals, and they see this. The city says Scott and his administration have not passed any legislation meant to curb the carbon emissions, all these things. You cannot blame this on cow farts, okay? One of the plaintiffs, Reynolds, an 18